Why do you bust your tail in the gym week after week, lifting heavy, eating right, only to take your shirt off and realize your arms still look like absolute twigs attached to this massive chest? Man, what's going on, guys? Today, we're tackling a super frustrating issue for lifters, especially if you're a man over 60. I know firsthand the sheer terror of peeling off a tight t-shirt and seeing what we call the dreaded spider physique staring right back at you in the mirror. But hey, don't sweat it, because there is totally hope. In this explainer, I'm going to share my own personal story of how I was dead wrong about arm training for years. Plus, I'm going to break down a radically simple, and I mean ridiculously simple, science-backed technique that will literally force your arms to grow. Now, I'm keeping the ultimate solution under wraps into the very end, so you definitely want to stick around. Grab a pen, because you're going to want to write this down.
So, why do so many of us look completely jacked in a t-shirt, but exactly like a spider naked? You know the exact look I'm talking about, right? You've got this thick, broad chest, this super wide upper back, and then these skinny, spindly arms just kind of hanging there at your sides. It's a massive blow to your confidence, man. I get it. But listen, you are definitely not alone in this struggle. And if you're an older lifter thinking your window for building proportional massive arms is permanently slammed shut, you are dead wrong. We can totally fix this spider physique, and the whole shebang starts with just understanding your body's unique mechanics.
You see, there's actually a pretty clear genetic divide between two types of lifters. On one side, we have the torso-dominant guys. That means you build a massive chest and back, but you're rocking lagging arms. And on the flip side, you've got the limb-dominant guys. They've got the massive arms, but maybe a lagging chest and back. Now, I gotta confess right here, I am heavily torso-dominant. Back in the day, I used to look at those limb-dominant guys at the gym, and honestly, I was super jealous. They'd hit the weights half as hard as I did, and their arms would just blow up like balloons. Meanwhile, every single time I pressed or pulled, my chest and back just gobbled up all the stimulus. My arms were left with absolutely zilch. And man, that leads perfectly into a huge trap I fell headfirst into. It's that old school myth that says, hey, just do heavy bench presses and weighted chin-ups for big arms. Oh man, I bought into this minimalist training advice hook, line, and sinker. The gym bros totally swore that if I just got insanely strong on the big heavy compound movements, my arms would naturally explode in size to match my torso. So what'd I do? I pushed heavy weight day in and day out. I literally ignored direct isolation work completely, mostly because I thought it was just unnecessary fluff meant for bodybuilders, not real strength athletes.
Well, reality check, that advice completely and utterly failed me. 16.5. Yep, 16.5. That was the size of my arms in inches back in 2021. Now, sure, that might not sound terrible to everyone, but let's put that into perspective for a second. At that time, I was hitting a 380-pound close-grip bench press. I was doing weighted pull-ups with 4 45-pound plates strapped to me. I was brutally strong, but my arms? Stuck at a highly disappointing 16.5 inches. My torso was getting incredibly thick, like a barrel, but my arms were basically just along for the ride. Right then, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was never gonna get that aesthetic, balanced physique I really wanted just by chasing big numbers on a barbell.
So, I had to hit the books and figure out what the heck was going wrong. And that is exactly when I stumbled onto the scientific concept that finally broke my plateau. It's called regional hypertrophy. Now, in clinical terms, this just means non-uniform muscle growth along the length of a muscle belly. Okay, but what does that actually mean in plain English? Basically, it means that how you train a muscle, like the specific exercises you pick and the range of motion you use, can actually force different parts of that exact same muscle to grow way more than others. Honestly, finding this out absolutely blew my mind. I wasn't just cursed with bad arm genetics forever. I was literally just doing the wrong movements to stimulate the right regions. Talk about a real game changer.
Okay, let's geek out on the anatomy for a second so we can actually build a solid strategy here. To get massive arms, you really need to understand the triceps. They make up a whopping 2/3 of your overall upper arm mass. But here is the real kicker that pretty much everyone misses, the long head. It's the biggest of the 3 triceps muscles, and unlike the medial and lateral heads, this bad boy actually originates all the way up under your shoulder socket, right on your shoulder blade. Because of this really unique attachment point, if you want to stretch out the sleeves of your t-shirt and finally ditch those spindly spider arms once and for all, targeting this specific long head is absolutely crucial.
So how do we actually target it? Well, check this out. A 12-week study out of Ritsumeikan University looked at triceps muscle growth, and they found something just insane. When lifters did overhead triceps extensions, meaning their arms were up overhead and that long head was in a really deep, stretched position, they saw roughly 40% more growth compared to doing standard triceps pushdowns with their arms just pinned at their sides. Let me repeat that. 40%, guys. That is a massive difference in muscle volume, and it's literally just from changing the position of the arm to emphasize the stretch on that long head. Crazy, right?
Okay, remember that secret weapon I promised to reveal at the beginning of this explainer? Well, drumroll please, here it is. The hidden solution, long length partials. This is a super cutting edge technique where you intentionally shorten your range of motion, and you only perform the bottom, most stretched portion of the rep. So instead of fully contracting and squeezing the muscle at the top of the lift, which, let's be real, we've all been taught to do since day one in the gym, you just hang out down in that deep, painful stretch and pulse the weight up halfway. It feels brutal, but trust me on this.
And hey, if you think I'm just making up some new fitness fad, let's look at the hard data. Researchers at the State University of Londrina tested this exact concept. And guess what? They found that lifters doing lengthened partials yielded a massive 15% increase in muscle gain. Now compare that to the folks doing a traditional full range of motion who only saw a 7% gain. Think about that for a second. Doing less of the rep actually doubled the muscle growth. Why? Because they spent way more time under active tension while the muscle fibers were fully, deeply lengthened. It is an absolute game changer for stubborn muscles.
Now hold your horses. Before you run to the gym and just start violently throwing weights around, we really need to talk about the mind-muscle connection. This is absolutely make or break for us torso-dominant guys. If you're just in there pumping iron blindly with terrible form, trying to heave a giant dumbbell overhead, your body is going to do what it always does. It'll default to what it's already good at. It's going to let your powerful chest and your broad back completely take over the lift. You have to eliminate that secondary muscle takeover. You've got to focus intensely on isolating the arm, feeling that deep burning stretch in the triceps, and controlling the weight strictly through the targeted muscle. No momentum, just pure tension.
So, what specific exercises should you actually be loading up? Well, here is your science-backed long head arsenal. First up, we still keep some heavy compound helpers in the mix, the close grip bench press and the JM press. Both of these are fantastic for heavily overloading the triceps. But then we bring in the absolute king of the stretch, overhead extensions. You can do these with cables or dumbbells, whatever works for you. And finally, I absolutely love this last one, diamond push-ups. By bringing your hands super close together to form a little diamond shape, you shift all that pressing emphasis right onto the triceps. It's an incredibly effective, equipment-free option you can do right in your living room to get in some extra volume.
All right, let's put all of this awesome science together into a practical, direct aesthetic transformation blueprint. Step 1, train your arms twice weekly. If you're torso dominant, you literally must give your arms that extra frequent stimulus. They need it. Step 2, prioritize your arms before your torso. Hit them when your energy is fresh and you're ready to rock. Honestly, if you have to skip a chest day entirely just to hit arms, do it. And step 3, integrate those long-length partials on your final sets. Take your overhead extensions to absolute failure on a full range of motion, and then immediately drop into those stretched bottom half partials until you literally cannot move the weight a single inch. Which brings us to our final provocative question. Are you ready to finally ditch the spider physique and build the arms you actually deserve? We've totally busted the minimalist training myth that held me back for years. We've unpacked the clinical science of regional hypertrophy, and you now have the exact blueprint. Using long-length partials and targeted long head exercises will force stubborn muscle growth, no matter your age or your genetics. It is so incredibly simple, man, but you've got to check your ego at the door and put in the targeted work. Next time you hit the gym, prioritize those arms, chase that deep stretch, and watch those t-shirt sleeves finally get tight. Get after it.